Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Listen to these cows eat. They're having a chomp fest on this second cutting bale. It's going to be a very nice day today. High of 60. The clouds are supposed to clear off. Given this weather, I think I could get into some real trouble today, but there's one thing I need to take care of right off the bat. Hey, Ezra, how are you doing? This will burn all day long. This is my own special pork cut, pork belly on spare ribs from the pig we butchered last fall. All right, having settled the most important business today, which is dinner, I think I'm going to spread some manure, but I have a big question. I'm not sure exactly how to do it. I have all these tractors I could use to pull the manure spreader, and the question is, which one? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Well, I guess that settles it. First I gotta move this H out of the way. She is a little dusty from sitting all winter. Gonna have to get the kids to wash her off. This is a 1924 McCormick Deering 1020. It's almost 100 years old, and I haven't had it running in probably a year. There's quite a sequence to starting these tractors. We gotta turn on the fuel, make sure it's in neutral, set the throttle all the way open, set the spark advance, we want that retarded, set the impulse on the magneto, oil the drip troughs and the top end of the engine, check the oil. Well, she needs a little topping off. We'll do that when we get down the shop. Give her some choke, and we'll see if she wants to start. You think it was 100 years old or something? Just needs a little convincing. Oh ho ho! Let it run out of gas here. Shut it down. There we go. Lots of things to grease on this manure spreader. Let's check on the meat. Now that she's thawed, I can put some rub on it. Mixed with axle grease on my hands, but that only adds to the flavor. Alright, now that we got dinner set. This is a McCormick Deering 1020, as I mentioned. These were manufactured from 1923 to 1939. The reason they were called 1020 is because they were rated at 10 horsepower on the drawbar and 20 horsepower on the belt pulley, which was used a lot to power things back in those days. In reality, when it was tested, it's closer to 20 horsepower on the drawbar and 25 horsepower on the belt pulley. This came on steel wheels, and I have the lugs for them, but this rubber tire just makes it ride a lot easier. And this, my old manure spreader, is a New Idea 12A. It was manufactured around 1950, 1948 to 1955. It holds, I can't remember, something like 90 bushels. and it's way too small for me. I've been looking for a bigger one, but looks like for another year at least, I'm gonna have to get by with this one. I have spread probably close to 500 loads of manure out of this old gal, and it's always worked great, but I just need a bigger one. And to load manure today, I'm using my trusty 656 with a bucket loader. Here we go. Only one pedal on this tractor, combination clutch and clutch brake. Hand brake over here. Don't get stuck. There we go. And then we've got 3 forward and 1 reverse. Let's see, I gotta remember. Reverse is here. This is high gear. I believe that this is low gear. She don't run very fast, 1,000 RPMs. Make sure everything's all right around here. Yeah, kind of a light load to start with. We'll try everything out. Faster gear than that. Try that. There we go. Today I'm spreading composted manure on what we call the corner field because there's roads on 2 sides of the field, and we also call it the chicken field because we run our broilers and our layers in this field primarily. Contrary to a lot of anecdotal reports I've heard, dropping raw chicken manure on a field ain't that great for the grass. It's probably been 5 years since I've put composted cow and pig and chicken manure on from our pile onto this field, and I've seen a decline on the grass quality, even though we run chickens across this field all summer long. So it really needs a boost from composted manure, and this is where I'm going to be focusing. There's probably 4 or 5 acres all the way to the wood line down there, concentrating manuring this field heavy this spring, and then whatever I have left I'll put on some of the other fields. I try to apply composted manure to our fields in a 2-year rotation, so the fields I hit last spring I won't do this spring, but I'll do them next spring. This is what I like about this tractor. Putty 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 put. How do you fix a broken tuba? With a tuba glue. You know what? This seat's kind of hard. There we go. christen the MD's new paint job with a little manure. Had to happen sometime. Let's check on the meat. Oh, it's getting that nice color. I'm liking it. If you make people think they're thinking, they'll love you. If you really make them think, they'll hate you. A steaming pile compost. That means the good stuff's getting locked in. This stuff I'm drawing right now has not been composting long. I pulled it out of the heifer's pen and it's in the way of the composted stuff, so I'm spreading it too. Quite a trail. This MD drives like a dream now. Steers easy, no leaks, runs awesome. Up a little bit. You gotta help me with something. I'm desperately trying to figure out why kamikaze pilots wore helmets. Hey, well, it'd help if we put it in gasoline mode. Here we go. This is it. Spring is springing. Look at all that good stuff going onto the ground. The grass will be waking up any time now and it'll have a lot of good stuff to eat. All she needs is one other thing. That's too small. It's metric. It was 10 millimeters. 10 millimeters. That's some metric stuff. Gotta have a steering wheel spinner. All the cool kids have them. Ah, perfect. Chickens are loving this weather. Digging holes, taking dust baths, looking for bugs. They got lots to do. That's all the manure I'm doing today. It usually stretches out over a couple weeks this time of year. I have less manure than I have in previous years this year. I probably got, I would say, 50 to 60 loads to do, so at least we got a start on it. But before I sign off, I got a couple things. The first is this pork belly. I've cooked pork belly quite a few times on the channel, but it occurs to me I've never really given a specific recipe, and that's some of the feedback I received on a video last week. So here's the basic recipe. I use a Weber. You can do it in the oven too. I just like the smoky flavor. I cook the pork belly at about 250 degrees uncovered for 5 or 6 hours. It depends on the feel to me when it feels like it's cooked all the way through. And then I either wrap it in foil or cover it up as I have done today to keep the juices in to further cook it. Pork belly is tough if you quick cook it, so this is a long process. If I go in and it's not done yet, I take it in with me and I stick it in the oven and I cook it until it's falling apart, which can take up to 10 hours total. Sometimes I have to finish it the next day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in now, but I want to show you where it's at right now. That's what it looks like. It's still got some body to it. In other words, it won't fall apart. It's done, it just needs to tenderize. I might sit here and eat a few bites. I like to do cooking on the channel, and the intent of my cooking is to make a point that you don't need a lot of expensive equipment and you don't need a lot of real fancy recipes to make pasture-raised meat really well. I just use simple seasoning. Almost everything I put on is McCormick Montreal steak seasoning, and I have a few other rubs that I use, but I cook very simply. I don't do a lot of marinating or any of that stuff or complex preparation, and I learned this because I never had the time to do it. I put something on the grill and let it go while I'm out working and just make it that way. I want to keep it simple, not complicated. Pickers, what are you doing? Wake up, come see me. Oh, I got one taker. I don't know how you guys can sleep. I've been making all this noise. Yeah. And the last thing is a big thank you to all you that commented on last week's video, the Funny Farm video, about what you like to see in videos and what you want to see going forward. That feedback was incredibly helpful to me. I read every single one of those 3,000 plus comments, and it gave me a really good compass to steer with for the future, and I appreciate that greatly. Things are only going to start happening more and more here on the farm. Spring is springing, as I said, and we have our first broiler chicks of the year coming later this week. So I've got lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff for you guys to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.